Standing, lifting and rolling the shoulders. Breathing in, turning the head to the left. Come to the centre and breathing out, turn the head to the right. Back to the centre, and once again in your own time to the left. Come to the centre and to the right. And come to the centre. Lift and roll the shoulders. And open the arms outwards. Come to hug yourself. And just tap your fingers onto the shoulders. Head can be slightly forward. Lengthening the back of the neck. You can pat your tops of your arms. And then breathing in as you open the arms outwards again. And then come to hug yourself. The other arm on top, coming forward, and again just tapping. The tapping connects you to your body and connects you to the now. So in terms of mindfulness, it connects you to the present and to reality. And then breathing in, just opening and lowering the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, circling the arms up. Clasp and reverse the palms upwards. Breathing out, lowering the arms back down alongside you. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, circling the arms up. Clasp and reverse. Breathing out, palms in front of you to shoulder height. Open the arms outwards and then breathing back, arms to the centre and then just lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then circling the arms up, clasp and reverse. Press the feet down and just go to one side. Coming to the centre, stretching up and then coming to the other side. Coming to the centre and lowering the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. And again, circling the arms up, clasping and reversing. Just turn slightly to one side. Come to the centre, and then just turn slightly to the other side. Come to the centre, testing our balance, just lift the heels. And when you're ready, lower the heels. Lower the arms, place the hands on the waist and subtly bend the knees, back of the neck is long, looking at the floor, and feel the abdominal muscles connect. And then breathing in, coming to standing. So this next movement, I don't think we've done before. It's for very balanced and elegant people, but which I'm not. But it is just almost sort of rocking to and forward, just lifting the leg up. So it's connecting to the feet in a slightly different way, and you can fall forwards and lift your leg up at the front a little bit or a lot. So the invitation is to hold it for a second. It's a slightly different balance movement. And in the dance community, Again, as just looking at me, you know I'd never be a dancer. But just in the dance community, they're all terribly elegant about doing it. I've done a lot of work with an absolutely delightful teacher. She's a choreographer and coaches all the ballet people up at La Trinité. Is it La Trinité? It was where Jocelyn's the director. Anyway, so it is quite interesting. Of course, they do it effortlessly and they're tiny. But then just come to the other side, and we're going to do the same on the other side. It certainly wakes the feet up.
But it's very mindful as well, you have to focus.
Yes, I suppose I hadn't thought about that. The invitation is you can hold it with your legs suspended and then just come down. But again, it's your free style. And then just gently come to think about ending that. And the next movement we're going to make, lifting and rolling the shoulders, is in between times, is even more dance-like and I think challenging. The invitation is to, they say put the mat into 3 almost, just lengthwise. Just fold your mat into 3. 4 if you're very, very good. And it's imagine on walking, then just don't worry about it. Just put one foot in front of the other, which I think in itself, I can't even do that. I think that is difficult enough. And the only way I can do that is to make my feet go like a duck, almost. And then bring your hands out, almost touching, and then very elegantly, or not, just slightly turn to one side, come to the centre, and turn perhaps to the other side. And then you can freestyle almost to come up and to side and to the centre and to the side. And then keeping the connection of the fingers together, of course we're going to bring the back foot in front of the original front foot and do the same again in some kind of freestyle movement, whether you stay static with your hands in front or whether you go from side to side. And however you want to do this, you can turn behind you, which I think is even more challenging. Coming back to your point about mindfulness, Liz, this is even more mindful because you really can't think about other things. And then when you're ready, of course, you're going to bring the next foot in front of the other one, and the same thing. So you're just walking along the mat, one foot in front of the other. It's more challenging to turn behind you, lifting the fingers up. And I sometimes think it's harder to make this type of movement when you're moving slowly. And then when you're ready, just bring the next foot in front. You sometimes see these crazy people balancing on tight ropes. I'm thinking, I obviously would never make that. I don't know how they do it. And then just perhaps make the next one the last one. And when you're ready, release that and just unfold your mat and come back to standing in the centre. Yes, there is a whole body of movement and dance and brain and coordination. It's moving slightly beyond somatics, such as gyro something or other, and that is part of that. So it's just a very simple but slightly a different movement. And I think I was surprised, I don't know about you, how challenging I found that.
Yes.
It looks so simple.
It's doing this, keep getting your sense of gravity and sort of keeping it strong and the balance, getting one foot in front of the other. This is really difficult. This bit here. It's all right if you do like that. But,
yes.
Once you start doing like this, and it's like the old cerebellum's having to work.
It's a cerebellum, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
The dorsal columns and going up your spine into your cerebellum. Because that's where they make people walk, when they're drunk.
Oh,
We walk along the line
yes.
to show how impaired your cerebellum is. If you're drunk.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
And something, the complete ignoramus, which part of the brain's a cerebellum?
It's the bottom of the brain. It's
Oh,
that
okay.
piece at the bottom of the brain.
Yes.
That's the top of the spinal cord. You've got your brain hemispheres,
Yes.
and there's that bit underneath. It's that bit underneath.
Okay. So, who would have thought? So, just as this is taking the lead, just go from side to side. This is going to be a much easier movement. I sometimes think it's interesting to do movements that look simple, but they expose parts of us that have gone slightly awry.
I agree.
And I've had huge shocks, and I thought, I obviously choose the movements that I like doing, which play to my strengths. I quite like to go to other teachers and do other trainings because they take me out of my comfort zone, and then I get quite a shock because I think, actually, how did that happen? And then just had to slow down. So another movement that I quite like because it shows up part lifting and rolling the shoulders. It shows up part of the body that can go slightly off key. You've got meridians running up your arms. One is lung and one is heart. And that can go out of sync and you don't realise it's happening. So as you get to roll your shoulders, clasp the hands behind the back. And this is simple, just aim the knuckles to the ground and just open out. So you can have a wide weave, which is non-yogic, or you can be very yogic and have your hands together, which I find quite limiting, but that's what you're supposed to do. But the point of this next exercise is what I'm more interested in. Make a reverse prayer and try and get the outer parts of your little fingers to connect and open the elbows. I find that really difficult, and it starts to ache into the wrist and into the little finger. Just go to the left and go to the
I
right.
can't do that at all with my shoulder.
So then just lower the arm, lower the hands, and if that really isn't great, then just hold the wrists and go from side to side. And then just come to the centre and just release. I think, again, that's quite interesting because it just shows up little bits about us on our shoulders. So lift and roll the shoulder, and lift and roll the shoulder. Lift and roll both shoulders. And again, turn the head to the left and turn the head to the right. And coming to the centre. This should be easy coordination. I'm raising my right hand, it doesn't matter. And whichever movement direction you've made, so I'm at my right hand and I've gone to the right, I'm going to reverse the circle. I think the brain takes over and you tend to go, you favour your strongest side of the brain. And just open and stretch the fingers a couple of times and then lower those. And then the other hand, so for me it's my left, and the same thing again. And then the other side. So just coming back to your shoulders again, just open and close the fingers before we come down to lying on the mat. Lifting and rolling the shoulders. Just touch the hands to the collarbone, elbows up. So I'm going to suggest coming forward first. Classically, you should make the elbows touch, but that is harder. So anywhere where the elbows are aiming towards one another, just checking that that's okay, because it might pull onto the arms a little bit. I don't just. And then reverse the movement, so elbows together and round. That I find more difficult for some reason. And then just lift and release. Come to a seated position before we come to making some movement. And the nitric oxide focus, coming to breathe in through the nose and humming the breath out. And in your own time. Last one. Just stay for a moment. If I've remembered that correctly, my understanding is that that also connects into the ventral vagus for calming you down. It has an effect on the vagus nerve. I believe it's the ventral.
Yes, because in my trauma work we do that. With clients who are traumatised, we work on the various things that they can do, like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and side and side with counselling because it's traumatic remembering.
Okay. Interesting. And then just very, very gently come to lying on the mat, but with your knees bent, feet hip width apart. And then this is going to be, again, a slightly different movement that I don't think we've done before, and it has a purpose. There's certainly a mindfulness aspect, but I'm interested because I have a feeling this comes into almost like releasing trauma as well. I'll be very interested to hear what you say. So keeping the right leg where it is, bend the left knee in towards you, and have the left foot slightly up and just shake it. Just shake the left foot. You can bounce the leg slightly up and down, or just flop the foot, or just quite a movement of shaking out the lower left leg. And then just very gently reconnect the left foot to the ground and just feel how that is for you. And then just very gently bring in the right leg towards you, and then it will be the same on the right leg, just gently shake the right foot, the right lower leg. And then just reconnect the right foot to the ground. Your hands are either palms down or alongside you, or resting on your abdomen. Or they can be one hand on the tummy, one hand on the chest. Just very gently let the head turn to one side. It doesn't matter which side. And feel the weight of the head on the ground, just taking an in and an out breath. When you're ready, bring the head back to centre and then just very gently let the head move to the left. Taking an in and an out breath. And bringing the head back to the centre. Bringing the focus to your nose, and with your eyes open or closed, imagine drawing a shape, any shape, with your nose onto the ceiling. So it could be a figure of 8, it could be a cat, it could be anything. The movements are quite small. But really focus for a few moments on your drawing. I'm sticking with a figure of 8 because it balances my head equally from side to side. And then very gently bring the head back to the centre. And for the next exercise, we're going to be raising the arms over the head and then returning the arms. And you can do this with your legs bent, or you can do this with your legs stretched out along the mat. If you wanted to add in a chant or a mantra, then the focus today would be on the earth chakra, which is the foundational energy, and it's purely optional. You can chant or not chant on the out breath. You can do it silently. I might do one and then just lapse into silence. Well, Charlotte, you're welcome to take over. So where the chant is Om, and then for earth it's Lam, Om, Lam. So that's optional. I'm going to stretch my legs out along the mat. My palms are hands down. And as you next breathe in, raise the hands up above you and slightly wide. Backs of the hands may touch the ground. And then when you're ready to breathe out, breathing out, an optional chant would be Om, Lam. Charlotte, if you want to take over, you're absolutely welcome to. When you're ready, breathing in and raise the arms slowly above you. And when you're ready to exhale, if you want to lead, Charlotte, but if you don't, but whatever. Again.
Recording in progress.
And one more time. Just rest and observe the parts of the body that are connecting to the earth. You can have your legs along the floor or bent, knees can be together. And again, from a mindfulness or a connection point of view, connecting to the earth connects you to reality and it keeps you in the present. So from a mindfulness point of view, but I'm interested in the trauma about keeping yourself present.
Yeah, because I do tapping.
Ah.
If anyone wants to talk about their trauma, then we schedule it properly, we plan it, we do it, we tap. And then at the end
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Yes.
and then we do grounding at the end of the sessions if we're
Can't hear you at
working.
all.
Oh, interesting. I just I don't know why the thing just suddenly said recording. Switched on.
And your image is turned on the side.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. It's not
Yeah.
weird because I was lying on the ground and the camera suddenly went sideways and it said recording. It's just how bizarre. There's something really odd going on. Right. I've
The
just,
internet keeps cutting out as well.
funnily, oh dear, how irritating for you. So sorry. I have this. Right. Are we back to normal?
It seems like it, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. You were saying about tapping, Liz.
Yes,
and
so tapping's really important for, you wouldn't, if someone was very traumatised and they wanted to work through something, it really helps because it means that they're having the experience in the present. So they're remembering with the distance, so they're not having the feelings they had before because they're actually in the present as they're tapping. So they can talk about it with distance, something, and once you've been able to do that, it no longer has the traumatic response of it being in the here and now, the trauma. So that's a big, big thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then grounding at the end of the session,
Session.
feeling the earth between, underneath your feet and just sitting in the chair and feeling the chair, but principally feet on the ground. Really important.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Well, this class has an earth focus. So knees now are bent, feet are hip width apart, that they weren't there already. And keeping the right foot where it is, bend the left foot into the chest. I've got my palms down on the floor and then extend the left foot up to the ceiling. There's an option to extend the left heel. Bend the left knee into the chest and then breathing out, replace and connect the left foot back down to the earth again. The right leg now it comes into the chest. The right foot goes up to the ceiling, an option to extend the right heel, bend the right knee in towards you, and then lowering the right foot. Come back to the left side, hugging the left knee into the chest. Raising the left leg up to the ceiling, sole of the foot to the ceiling, extend the left heel, bend the left knee back into the chest, and left foot to the floor. Right knee into the chest, right leg up to the ceiling, extend the right foot, bend the right knee back into the chest, and right foot to the floor. Both knees now hug into the chest, your palms are still down. Left leg goes to the ceiling, extend the left heel, and then return the left leg. Your feet, both of them are off the floor still. And then right leg, right foot goes up to the ceiling, extend the right heel, and then lower the right leg. And then just now hug both knees into the chest. Slightly rock from side to side. And again, just be aware of the connection of the back and the back of the head to the ground. So the earth is supporting the body as we go from side to side. And then hugging both knees into the chest. And then both knees go out, still holding them to arm's length. And as we hug the knees into the chest, again, there's an option to chant Om Lam again, knees away. Again, chant if you want to Om Lam, that's wonderful. Om Lam. That's lovely. Thank you. And then just very, very gently, just let both knees go to the, both feet go to the floor. And then we've not done this before, or we've not done it for a long time. Roll to one side, knees are bent. So I'm going to roll to my left side so that you can see me. My right palm is on top of my left palm. My chin is tucked in. So both knees are bent, one on top of each other. At the moment, my right palm's on top of my left. If you want to go the other way around, that's fine. Just stroke your right hand along your left palm, along the inside of the left arm.
You can't do that, actually.
Can't you?
No.
Oh, so where do you stop, out of interest?
There. That's where it hurts and really pulls.
Okay. So if you can't stroke your fingers along the arm.
I can do it, but it just pulls all the way.
Okay. So we'll just do a couple, because I'm very aware now that Liz that finds difficult. Just stroking the right arm up the left side, rolling onto the back. Move the right hand across the chest and open the right arm out to the side. Your knees are staying where they are, so you're in a twist. And then bringing the right arm back and then stroking back down to left the palms together. But that's tricky for you. We'll just do that one more time, I'll keep it short, sliding the right palm up the inside of the left arm. Just trace the right palm fingers over the chest, roll onto the back, keep the knees where they are, open the arm to the right or keep the right hand on the right chest. And then breathing out, lowering, coming back again. I wonder if it would be any better on the other side. When you're ready, roll onto your back and then roll both knees to the right. Your arms are out alongside you, so your right hand's on the bottom, your left palm's on the top. Keep your knees where they are. Slide your left fingers along the inside of the right arm, over the right chest. Go onto the back, opening your self out, your left arm goes out to the left. It might be strong, so only where it works for you, and then breathing out, roll back, reversing the movement, the left hands go across the chest, and then slide down the right inside arm. And then the palms connect, and we'll just do it one more time, sliding the fingers of the right hand up of the left hand upside the inside of the right arm, opening out. Knees stay where they are. And then just reversing. Just stay a couple of breaths on your side. And then when you're ready, roll onto your back and then once more hug the knees to the chest. Okay, so I've got your, where you are on your shoulder. Just that's very interesting. Hug the knees into the chest and just rock very gently from side to side. And then roll, we're going to come in our own time to hands and knees into cat position. And hands are shoulder width apart, knees are hip width apart. I'm going to make this quite classic, breathing in, dipping the back, looking either up or along the mat, and breathing out, chin to chest, rounding the back. And again, a couple of times, and as you breathe out around your back, you have the invitation to chant out loud or in mentally on Lam. It is an invitation, and you're very welcome to lead, Charlotte. And the next time we come back, we're actually going to bring the bottom to the heels as you round your back. Come back to kneeling and then bottom to the heels as you breathe out. And then the next one's the last one. Just stay for a couple of breaths. If this is too extreme for you in child, then you can always make fists with your hands. And then very gently come to a seated position, however that works for you. And just connect to the earth chakra. Is I am here. I am. It's acknowledging our presence physically in the earth. So really to connect again with a sense of reality, take the back of the right hand to the left cheek and just observe the texture of the skin, the feel of the back of the hand against the left cheek. And then reverse that so as you take the back of the left hand to the right cheek. And then connecting, this is somatic movement, so it brings touch into reality. So it's something along the lines you were talking about. Bring the hands to either side of your head. This is very good for headaches as well. Connecting, I mean, if you had a major headache, you would come with your elbows slightly resting on a bolster or something, or on a table. This is connecting to almost the positions you get for Reiki, the opening sequences for Reiki. And then just drop, it doesn't matter which hand, one hand to the nape of the neck and the other hand to the forehead. And have a sense of, again, connection of the hands to the head, the reality of I am here now. And keep the hand at the forehead while dropping the hand at the nape of the neck down to the chest. And then keeping the hand at the chest and dropping the hand at the forehead down to the navel. And imagine a golden thread, or it can be a silver thread, connecting those two hands. Again, you're connecting very much into the head, the gut, heart coherence, that gut-heart connection. So you're dropping the focus of the energy away from the head, almost down into the body, connecting again back with the earth and moving away from the head energy, which can overthink things sometimes. And the question here is, do you feel connected or do you feel part of this earth? And if you feel that there's something separate to you, is there anything, if you feel a separation at all, is there anything that you can do to feel more connected? So again, grounding you, connecting you back to the earth, moves you out of your head. And then just very gently let the hands go and connecting to the Earth Mudra, which I think is Jnana Mudra. The thumb and the second finger are together, and just rest them on the knees or on the lap. Chin comes to chest. And just notice how you're feeling, the texture of the skin on the clothes, the connection of the parts of your body, your feet, and the sit bones to the earth. And taking now a bow for yourself for the day ahead. Chin to chest, just very slightly nod forward and then come to upright. Thank you very much, hands to heart, for joining me today. I'm going to